Okay, my chess friends, welcome to this chess video. And I haven't made a video for absolutely ages, but I received some very encouraging words, and so I decided maybe I can do something that someone somewhere can get some benefit from. Now, this is a chess game between two grandmasters. Grandmaster Jacob Aagaard, who is the author of some very famous chess books. He actually lives very close to me, and just in the little next kind of town adjacent to mine. We live in the same district, but he lives in a different part of it. He was originally a Danish chess grandmaster playing for the Danish Chess Federation. I think he changed allegiance, but I'm not sure if he's still with the Scottish Chess Federation. I don't know. He's playing a Greek grandmaster with the wonderful name Spyridon Skembris. Spyridon, what an awesome name, man. And he's a very experienced grandmaster. He was rated in his peak about 2600. So the game's very interesting because it highlights how to use an isolated queen pawn, the dreaded isolated queen pawn. And Grandmaster Jacob Aagaard goes in for that variation with this move c4 here, which results in the isolated queen pawn. I think it was Nimzovich who said that it casts gloom all over the chessboard. Someone else, is maybe Tarash, says, look, if you cannot play with an isolated queen pawn, you're a bit of a wussy, and you'd be as well giving up chess altogether. So I don't know whose perspective is correct. I think the consensus is that in the opening and in the middle game, the isolated queen pawn is a strength. As the game progresses, and if pieces are exchanged off, it can become a weakness. So let's see what happens. Knight to f6, knight to f3, e6, bishop to d3, knight to c6, double zeros, bishop to e7. Rook comes to the half open e file, and we have castles. So what are the plans and ideas? You can see that it does give white more space in the centre and a good square for his knights. He will use this extra space to launch an attack on black's king side, and he will try to avoid exchanges using all his pieces in the attack. You can see that white's pieces are slightly more active than black's. If we compare these bishops, the slice square bishop is way more active than its counterpart. If we compare the rook, it's way more active than its counterpart. So black would like it, black would love it if white would exchange off these more active pieces for his slightly more static and passive pieces. And he will try to induce white to do that, knowing that as the game progresses, this little pawn here could provide a catalyst for attack. So two very interesting philosophies here. Let's see how it plays out on the chessboard. We have a3, and the knight comes to d5. I mean, what do you think of this move? It looks good, doesn't it, that the knight comes to a more active spot. But if you look at the king side here, it's looking just a little bit bare without the defender of the king, this knight. I mean, I'm not entirely sure what the knight is doing here. Is he trying to induce white into exchanging? I mean, it's just never going to happen. I mean, okay, the knight is more active, but I think it is better on the king side. But okay, what do I know? Knight d5 anyhow. And here white plays bishop to e4. he's anticipating that this bishop will come to f6. And if we just take that back, I mean, where could you place this bishop? Here, and it's biting on granite. Here, it's going to get kicked here, and we're trying to avoid exchanges, so this is out of the question. So come back, and then it's just going to get kicked here, and then it's just going to come back here anyhow. And it's going to be again biting on granite. I mean, bishop c2 is of course a move. It's just a little bit passive. I'm not entirely sure what it would do here on c2. If we bring it back to b1, in anticipation of the bishop coming here, we need to defend this, of course. It blocks the rooks, and we need all our pieces in the attack. So for this reason, Grandmaster Aagaard chose the most active choice. Bishop to e4, where at least it fights for control of the centre. The anticipated bishop to f6, queen to d3, h6, bishop d2, knight dropped back to e7, rook came to the d file, all of white's pieces are active, bearing down on the centre, bishop to d7, and knight to e5. And here black plays knight takes on c3. Now how would you recapture here? Would you take with the pawn? Would you take with the bishop? Would you take with the queen? How would you recapture? Well, if you take with the bishop, you're turning your bishop into a giant pawn, and it'd be pretty sad there on c3. If you take with the pawn, again, you're wrecking your pawn structure. This will become isolated. This will become isolated and backward. Something like this. Takes, e5, takes, and bishop to a4. And there's absolutely no advantage in this for white. In fact, these will become targets for attack. A big hungry rook comes to the c file. So the best move was queen takes on c3. Okay, I mean we're getting tempoed. But the queen's not static here, she can simply move away. Bishop c6. Now what do we do? Do we exchange here on c6? No way, man. We're trying to avoid exchanges. Bishop b1, awesome move. And here the Dusky Maiden came to d5. Looks really scary, doesn't it? Look at that. How to defend against this? How are you going to defend against the mate threat here on g2? Going to play something like f3. Bishop e4. Knight e3. Knight f3, sorry. What are you going to play? Well, in the game, Grandmaster Aagaard chose the awesome queen to g3. Combining the defense of the g2 point with threats of his own. I mean, they don't quite work out yet, but I mean, it's putting pressure on black's position. Whereas if we just take that back, something like knight to here or something like it simply puts no pressure on the black position, whereas queen to g3 does, and defends at the same time. And here black plays a move that looks super dubious. Queen takes on d4. I mean, okay, it wins material and it takes away the knight's defensive point, but it disrupts the coordination of black's pieces, and there's no longer any pressure on white's position because of this. And here Grandmaster Aagaard played the awesome knight to g4. If we take a look at something like this, this simply doesn't work. Bishop takes 6 and, well, bishop takes on e5, and there's no attack here. So knight to g4 was the move, preserving the piece and preserving all types of options. And here black himself responds with the excellent h5. When we're under attack like this, and if you look at all the white pieces are somehow involved in this, knight and queen, it's always a good idea to try and trade off our opponent's attacking pieces. And this move here provides a square for the queen to try and induce some type of queen trade. With the queens off the chessboard, the attacking chances vastly diminish. But Grandmaster Aagaard was having none of that, and knight to h6. If we just take a look at why not knight takes here, well, knight takes, queen takes. If we try something like bishop to c3, well, queen can simply move away, and there's nothing really here for black. If white tries something like bishop to g5, well, black has this resource, knight to f5. Take, and I'm just going to take back. Take here, and I'll just take it, and you have nothing. So, knight to h6 was played. Only move. Then the bishop came to c3. h4 does nothing really because the Ice Maiden can simply sidestep it, and there is still the threat of against the queen. Okay, the queen has got to move. She went to f4. Knight g4. Knight came to g6. And now that all of white's pieces are in position, two bishops, the rooks are able to come. White is going to open up lines against the king. Knight takes on f6, g takes, bishop takes, f takes, rook d4. And as soon as this rook hits the h file, with check, it's going to be very difficult for black to defend this position. Okay, the queen has got to move. She's looking to exchange herself for the Ice Maiden, but she has no time for this. Rook h4 check. King is dancing about. And I wonder if you can see the mate. It is actually a forced mate from here. You could probably see it. King f7. It's only move. Queen h7. King comes here to e8 is the only move. Look for another check. Rook takes. King has got to take. Bishop f4. And the queen will be here. The king has got to move, and it will probably be mate here on e7. So let's check out what happened. Only move. Yep. King f7. Queen h7. King e8. Rook takes. Got to take. Bishop b4. Check. And the game is over. It's only a single move. And the queen will come here with mate. So very, very nice game from Grandmaster Aagaard, showing how to handle the dreaded isolated queen pawn. Remember, my chess friends, we want to avoid exchanges. And we saw that with moves like this here. We're not interested in exchanging pieces. Bishop to b1, keeping all our pieces on the chessboard. Some active defense. And all of the pieces involved in the attack. Bishop, rook, knight, queen. And this here was a fatal mistake. White can simply sidestep. As soon as the rook comes to d4, it's coming to the h file with check. We have this beautiful mating sequence. So hopefully that inspired you, my chess friends. If ever you find yourself in a position with an isolated queen pawn, I mean, some people actually absolutely love it. They think that it provides lots of attacking chances, lots of open files and diagonals for rooks and places for knights. It's good to know how to handle these types of positions from both perspectives, both white and black. Anyway, I thank you very, very much for taking the time to watch this little chess video. I sincerely hope you got something from it that you can apply in your own games of chess, and I wish you well with them. Take care, my friends, and goodbye.